Alright, now I want to show you tenanted deployments and then untenanted deployments. So let's create a new release. Let's make it to 005, click save. So you now see all the stages here. So if we go back to overview, you can see there is 4 environments: dev, testing, staging, and production. And all of them are available for untenanted deployments, but only staging is and production is available for the tenant Beverly Sanchez. The other 2, dev and testing, are blocked for this. And the reason why filters required is here that you can only see ones that fit this filter, but there is nothing deployed just yet, so you don't see this here. So we just created a 005 release, so let's go back to that release. We're gonna actually deploy this to dev. Let me open a second one. So you can see this here. So now let's actually deploy to empty dev. We don't select the tenant here. Actually, we cannot, because I've set the dev environment and also the testing environment to be untenanted. You can choose here in infrastructure, environments, testing, the actual deployment targets. Only available for untenanted deployments. You can make it optional or only intended deployments. So now I'm gonna deploy that release to dev, but untenanted. That'll take a little while. So it's already done here. It says it's done. It's funny. That doesn't do anything really. Okay, now it's deployed. And the next step then would be testing. So we're gonna go forward here and deploy to empty testing. Again, we can't select the tenant, so let's go for untenanted. And now when we get to the next part, then it's going to be interesting, because when I click deploy to staging, as you see, computer just froze. Okay, hope this is not on a video. On staging, staging would be the next one that is actually deployable for the tenant, but also for untenanted. And now we can go here, when we deploy to staging, we can now actually select the tenant. We can select Beverly Sanchez here, or we can just do an untenanted deployment. But let's do a tenanted deployment now. Beverly Sanchez, again, used to be 004 here, 004 here. Now go deploy to Beverly Sanchez's tenant, but to production. So you see it deploying. The interesting part here is that staging is one environment for untenanted, which you could see is a tenant by itself, and the tenant Beverly Sanchez. But in fact, there are 2 different deployment environments or deployment targets behind that. So if we go back to infrastructure, you can see all those environments, and you can see here for dev and testing, I have only 1 deployment target assigned, but 2 for staging and production. Let's check out testing, just 1. here you can see it even better. So for production, we have two actually, one for tenant Sanchez and one for untenanted deployments. So this makes it a lot clearer to see what's going on. Actually, why is this still deploying? I want it to test anyways. This makes it much clearer for us to see what is deployed where. We can actually add new deployment targets, and we can also change variables per project and actually per environment here.